Alright, Aquarius. This is for your next 7 days from the time you're watching this. Spirit's answer for self-expression and completion in something. So it may be an artistic thing you've been working on. You're finally done with the project. Oh. Sorry if I get quiet. Lately it's been really intense to do readings. I feel a whole lot. And through the expression of someone or something around you or yourself, the way it's expressed itself has helped you break out of a pattern of addictions and thinking and how a programming within you that kept affecting your reality. It's almost as if someone came into your life and showed you what it would have been like if you stayed on a certain path. And in doing so, you saw the best and the worst that could happen, and it helped you break free of it and choose better for yourself. Expression, breaking free of addictions, surprises. That's the most basic way that this is coming through. It's not really a master maker. Yeah, you've created something this week, an experience that happened, that you manifested, and you're experiencing the results of it already. So in the last week it happened, in the last 3 to 6 days. You saw something or someone and how they were acting, behaving, how that object looked in your house. You were maybe like redecorating, doing some feng shui. And it helped you see things from a different, with less information. Like if you're looking at someone, you kept the bad out and you're looking at only the good. If you're looking at the way the house was being decorated, you know, move the decorations, but you keep the furniture, and you're only looking at the furniture side of it. You were only looking at one side of something. And in the recent week, it expressed itself in that way, and you saw the worst and the best, and it's helping you better yourself and those around you. This is big. This is like when this stuff happens, it's your reality really changes. You know you're manifesting your reality all the time, but this thing that happened this recent week, it really changed the way you're creating your reality for the better. Like this card is the master maker. It means like when you do something, you take it a step further and do it even better. So you were doing something, you took it a step further, you broke free of something. And then this week, it's almost like you're going back to that project, or you're doing another project. What are you working on? Again, back the foot or upside down. You're really trying to get away from something, like a responsibility or a version of life that you were living that just wasn't for you anymore. And you're moving away from it slowly but surely. You just have to enjoy the ride. I mean, all of these cards are showing you going in a different direction than where you started from. So if this blank spot here is your last 7 days, then this enlightening epiphany thing over here, and then you're moving forward. But look at where you're going with a full clarity. There's a raven or a crow outside, and they work great in teams. I saw a group of them work with a squirrel once outside the house I used to live in. They're very intelligent, and it's all about community and family. So maybe some way of looking at things for you in the past was so low vibe that now you're seeing a little bit higher version of it. Spirit, the singer of initiation. Yeah, you're moving forward. Project 1 is done, now you do Project 2. And you make it better than Project 1 was. You show gratitude and appreciation for everything you're going through and that you've been through and that you're not going through. Like these two cards, like self-expression, freedom, artistic endeavors, you know, and being authentic and vulnerable and transparent in everything you do. Like there's no duality to this. There's no two-facedness to this. She's wearing nothing. I don't know if you can see that. And this one's breaking away from something. Something doesn't feel right. Not in a bad way, but in a really OCD perfecting way. I feel really off doing this reading. Like, I don't know if there's been drinking involved or if there's other kinds of intoxicating substances going on. But it feels really, really strange. Like there's a haze and I can only see or feel my way through just a little, you know, peek of it. You know, Geo the Slow also talks about the fractal of life. Geo and Mike the Myomancer. Kinda, sorta. I think I read that in there. There was something about the fractal of life, the micro and the macro, because of the leaves and the patterns. Oh! Initiation, moving forward, 9, 9, 8, a pattern being broken, a new beginning that you're too afraid to move into, but you can do it. Like, you're made to do this awesomeness. And then this ungroundedness, so like the ground beneath you isn't beneath you anymore because you're moving forward. And because you've been just recovering from an addiction of some kind, you're taking it really slow. Or the advice is that you should be taking it really slow. So kind of this reading is very, very interesting. It's almost like I'm already at the finish line looking back at describing to you what the racetrack looked like. And you're like just getting to the racetrack. It's very strange. I can see ahead of this. So this initiation card that you're going through is because of this expression of something that has happened that has helped you break free of a pattern of living that wasn't serving you. And now you're seeing things, you know, a little more bravely, but still surprised, and things are really different. Like, how are things going to be if you quit smoking? How are things going to be if you quit drinking whatever it is you're drinking? You know, if you break sugar out of your life, if you change your, you know, get cleaner water, if you change your bath soap to something more friendly to your skin. your life would be different. Even something as simple as changing your shampoo. Your hair is so much better after you stop using shampoo and you use different products to clean it. Like Castile soap is great. This is like you're upgrading your life because you stopped a pattern of low vibratory living. And you don't really see exactly the path ahead, but it's there for you. And you may feel really ungrounded and dizzy and just like things aren't moving or that they're moving too fast. You may feel like you're in your head all the time. And that the world around you is kind of just woozy. It feels like that so much. It's so strange. And then this Geo the Slow, like this card is he's drunk. This person is always drunk in everything Geo the Slow does in the book. He's always drunk. Now, mind you, I haven't had a sip of liquor in almost 12 years of any kind. No wine 7 years ago. I had a glass of wine 7 years ago. My apologies. So what I'm feeling could be something else, but it reminds me of the feeling of being drunk. And for this to be breaking free of something, and the initiation card right here, you're breaking free of a pattern of living that is moving you to a new way of living. Just go slow because you're still a little loopy. I feel loopy. Like you're making certain everything is okay before you take the step forward. Like you want every definition of every card so that you know that the way you're going is gonna be, the best for you. Because something happened that really made you afraid, or something that brought your authentic self out. Thank you, Lily. So maybe your boundaries are crossed or something, and you had to enforce your boundaries and say, no, this is who I am and this is what I'm doing, which helped you break free of a victim mentality, and now you don't know how to live life as a normal, happy person. But you can do it. Just take it slow. The Rar card. This like makes every other card 1,000 times more potent. It's pent up everything. It is like a pinball in a China shop that's just going off like in every direction. Aquarius, this week you're gonna have a really good time if you allow yourself to. Take it slow. Be gentle with yourself and start putting post-its around the house to remind yourself of good things about you. When I quit smoking, when was it? Within the last 10 years, I think 6 years ago, I quit smoking and drinking like 2 to 3 years apart, I think. There was a time right after, like you decide to do something where the shadows creep up on you. Like, just have that one drink. Just have that one this. Don't do it. Like, close your eyes and your heart to that experience and open your eyes and your heart to creating a better version of you. This reading is bringing up a lot of old, like, I don't even want to call them addictions because I was 20. It was stuff I was doing in my 20s. But looking back at it now and having this energy inside me, like, use those filters to describe this to me and through me, it's very interesting that part of my life is being lit up on the, board to show me that this is what you're going through. but then it's amplified by this roar, so it's like an infinite times more explosive than what I'm even imagining or being shown. Because what I'm being shown is someone's point of view that's upside down. So you're in a bubble, I'm reading the bubble you're in, but you're upside down, so I don't know exactly what's going on in the bubble, and I can't see through the bubble. It's very interesting and very sneaky. It's almost like who's the Aquarius behind the curtain that has this addiction problem that they're letting go of, and that the best advice for them this week is to move forward step by step, and like a big kid. Now I'm really, it's what an interesting mix of energies in this reading. I'm really digging into this energetically, like what is going on in this reading? And it keeps looping, the energy is like source keeps looping me back to these two cards, and then with this. And then it's like I see these two dancing in the air, like this one came in to get this one out of the shadows, and this one's like peeking from the shadows of these two dancing. While this one's like put all of it in motion and is just, enjoying the show. This person's all sorts of upside down. And this one just wants the next drink. And Geo the Slow says on the description that this little dude is drunk. And then the Singer of Initiation, moving forward into a different way of living with explosive force, like when Uranus shows up and changes your life completely. When that moment when all the people jump up and say surprise, and that like jumping shock you feel, that energy in the art you're making and how much you want to break free of that addiction. Like you want to go away from this weird just dense energy. It's like molasses and water. It feels gross. Like you've ungrounded yourself to get away from this, and you're propelling yourself as powerfully as you can towards your most authentic expression, which is in alignment with your inner child. Yeah, who were you when you were a kid? There's a lot of like 7, 4 plus 3, 7, 5 plus 2, 7, 9, 9. This is a 10. This is an 8. 22, 10, 11, 12, 13. And 13. 2 rebels, 2 shakers. A cycle. This doubling into this. So something that in your life that you started and you mastered, you became addicted to. So you could have been addicted to this work thing, and you're constantly working to make more money or to work more and more and more, and you haven't seen how it's affected and turned everyone in your life upside down. And the advice here is to go back to your roots of who you were when you were a kid. Do you remember what it felt like to be a kid? Because I feel like a kid right now doing this reading. And I'm hearing myself go over the same thing so many times, and it's very, very childlike. Like I'm really attempting to learn every single meaning of every single card, but I already know it. But this feeling in me, this curious inner childlike, this is like constant 1 to 1,000,000% joy level, and it's constantly at 1,000,000% joy. Like the epitome of childlike joy. Do you remember when you were a kid, how much fun everything was? It's really making me feel this now with this Geo, the slow arm, and this little kid right here. Some part of you doesn't want to see the adult you've grown into, or that you're growing into. Oh, because you grew up into that adult with bad behavior, and you regret having the bad behavior. So you've been thinking about your inner child and doing that meditation, and it's helping you be more authentic to yourself, which is having you see a side of yourself that you didn't know about, which has you a little upside down about which way you're going to go and how you're going to go, and you kind of feel stuck, that you're not moving anywhere, but you're actually moving at a very quick pace in life. Oh, and you're being difficult on yourself because you think you're being hard on yourself, like you could do better than you already are, because you don't see just how good you're doing, because you see your flaws more than you see your successes. Oh, Aquarius, that's sad. Can I hug you? Yeah, the best advice is this one card right here. Mickle a muckle. Go buy a Nerf gun and like a Nerf swords and like, you know, those little foam footballs and shields and those Hulk toys and axes and, you know, medieval toys from the dollar store or a Halloween costume store or something. Go and get a bunch of stuff. Like, it won't cost you more than $20, right? You can get 20 pieces or $20. And then go and find someone you're having issues with, or someone you really love and have a lot of fun with, and just hand them foam weaponry, put some crazy music on, and have the time of your life. Because if you really look at this literally, pick up a spear and dance with your friend and have fun. Who cares about how old you are or what you've been through, or how much you haven't been this or that, or how much you want to be this or that? Who cares? Just have fun. For the next 7 days, your homework is to just have fun. So that when you're growing up, and, you know, a year from now, when you're this different person that you're going to be a year from now, give that person good memories to look back to from this point of view. Do you know what I'm saying? If you go to a friggin' concert, you're gonna remember that concert for a while, aren't you? If you have a really fun experience with a friend, if you go to just, you know, different things that are constantly new and amazing, a park, do you know that there are certain places you can go and have archery lessons? Or where they light up the forest path with candles, and there's like once a month they have a forest walk with candlelight all over the forest, and the fake candles that don't turn off in the wind, obviously. And they turn these places into magical wonderlands. Like, these places exist and they do these amazing things. There's botanical gardens, there's art shows, there's theaters you can go to, there's dinner in a theater, there's musical, like, there was this one bar I knew in Illinois, in Chicago, that had this piano. It was a piano bar, I guess. And you'd go there and you'd have dinner, and it had a patio, and there was a piano by the patio, and a singer, and a piano player, and then everybody else eating food and dancing. And the place wasn't bigger than a Starbucks. You can do so much stuff. And I'm saying this because the bottom of the deck is the journeyman, which is moving forward in life and gaining life experience. You know, the journeyman, and then you become all these other archetypes and characters. But first, you start off as the inner kid wanting to grow up in a way that benefits the adult and the world around the adult. So if you pay attention to the fractal of it, what you're doing in your daily life should always in some way benefit the greater daily lives of everyone else too. That way we're all one massive global family, connected at the roots through the vines, instead of, people that are just in little boxes separate from each other. You can see the entire picture, Aquarius. It's okay to allow yourself to see it all, especially about yourself. There's certain practices you can do, and one of them is really easy. If you just take a piece of pen and paper and sit in front of like a mirror, or stand in front of a mirror and be really vulnerable. So like right before you take a shower, when you're completely nude, look at yourself in the mirror and really talk to yourself, looking to yourself in the eye, putting your hand on your heart and really talking to yourself and telling yourself how far you've come to where you are and where you've been. Good or bad, it doesn't mean to remember the bad. It means to give yourself a pep talk, to be vulnerable with yourself, to remember yourself as your truest self without any extra excess of anything. No clothes to label you, no jewelry to, accent you, no makeup, nothing. Just you, the way you were created. And you tell yourself you love yourself that way. You express the true, transparent authenticity, and you break free of all of the aspects of life that are hellish. Because really, if you look at it in a very basic black and white kind of way, heaven and hell kind of way, if something is harmful to anyone else, including the self, then it is not of heaven, is it? So why would you continue to perpetuate that within yourself if it's not of the highest light? She doesn't look like she wants to be in the shadows. She's of the shadows, but she doesn't want to be in the shadows. Everything grows towards the light, which means the dark nurtures things towards the light. And sometimes nurturing things isn't very pleasant, because things don't move forward if they stay upside down. A tree can't grow right side up if you plant it upside down. It has to turn itself around somehow and grow the right way. And if you are turned upside down and you're turning yourself right side up, then a lot of stuff you've been doing is going to look really different to you. And when that day comes, like I was telling you earlier, in that moment, make certain you have a lot of post-its and self-loving things around. Because you're going to be really upset at yourself when you realize some of the shit you've done under the influence of low vibratory, evilish behavior towards the self, which then fractaled out into the world and changed the collective because of the massive power of your thoughts and actions. Now it's time to fix things, starting with yourself, your inner child, to express the mastery of adulthood and moving forward by allowing yourself to see that which you haven't and move into your, graceful, mature life, whether you age or not is up to you, with your inner child intact. You can do this, Aquarius. You're an intelligent sign. The color spectrum of your part of the wheel, the things that make an Aquarius. So if you look at a massive stained glass mirror or wall, the light that is in Aquarius is the light that's everybody. But when it filters through Aquarius, it's like filtering through maybe a light blue or, some color that's specific to that part. Sagittarius would be a different color. Aries would be a different color. Gemini would be a different color. So when you're experiencing life, your filter is one of expansion, higher thinking, moving forward, constantly growing and evolving and trying different things, which means that inner child that you were doesn't have stability, which is why you were upside down with half the footer. And being upside down with addictions and massive manifestation and creation power isn't something beneficial. It scares the inner child and turns the fight or flight on when it should be off. Which is why the expression of self has to come into play to break free of a behavior that isn't of the self, so that your inner child can be at peace and your adult life can be stable, and that the initiations of life aren't turning you upside down. They're actually easy and graceful and masterful. I wish you the best of luck for everything that serves the highest good and greatness. This is going to be a really interesting week for you, Aquarius. In a really enlightening kind of way. You're going to be a better person because of the experiences you're having this week. And these experiences that you're having this week are because of the experiences you've had in the recent, maybe 2 to 3 weeks prior to this one. And just a, side note, or it's all about your inner child. The man behind the curtain, the Wizard of Oz, is your inner child. Be kind to yourself, please. I love you.